Alright, so now let's take a look at Elementor Pro and some of the Pro elements we can use. And here's actually that same page we've been editing, the contact/location page, except it's using some Elementor Pro elements. It's using the Elementor Pro slider element, the Elementor Pro form field, and I think this is an Elementor Pro element too with the blog post right there. Let's go to the Edit with Elementor page for this one, for this page. Here it is right here. If I click inside this slider, actually, we haven't even actually looked at the Elementor Pro elements yet, so let's do that first. Click on the dots, and if I scroll down here, now you'll notice Pro elements right here. And when I first got Elementor Pro, I believe it had 6 Pro elements. Now it has 11, and I'm sure they're going to be adding more. To do this right, of course, takes a lot of work and a lot of configuration and coding and testing, and they've done a really good job. A slider, and a form. They also have some other cool elements too that we can take a look at. In fact, before we take a look at the slider element and the form element, let's add another new section down here and play around with some other Pro element. Click Add Section. I'll use 3 column structure right here. Let's try the flip box. So I'll just drag that element over here and drop it in one of these columns and do the same 2 more times. Alright, this is a very cool element, the flip box, and I'm sure this takes some coding too to get correct. Right here, see we have the front, back, and the settings. So I click on settings, the height and the border radius, flip effect. We can make it side, push, zoom in, zoom out, fade, whatever we want. 3D depth, we can turn that on, and let's see what it looks like, the 3D depth. It kind of has a cool effect on it. Kind of looks like it's pushing out there with the 3D effect. Turn that off again. Open up the front first of all, which is the green with the star icon right there. That's the front element. This is the heading. Now what I've seen this used most often on sites, right below perhaps the front section, maybe a slider or an image or whatever on the top section of a site, you'd have 3 columns or 4 columns with flip boxes, and you don't even have to have text or headings on the flip box part. It could just be an image, and then when people hover over it, or just a single heading without a bunch of buttons and text and stuff. So then when people flip over it, then they see the main content of the section. So that's the front part. Of course, there's the background. We can change that background for the front part. And then the back part, we can do the same, edit that. This is the heading. Now it just shows the back part because we're editing it, of course. If you're editing the back, then it's just going to show you the back element, so you don't have to scroll back and forth to see what it's going to look like. So cool element there. I think I'm just going to hover over the section and delete it for now though, because we're not going to use it on this page. There we go. So that is the Pro elements, and we're using the slider Pro element right here, slides element, and the form element on this page right here. So let's take a look at this slides element. I'll click inside right here. Here are 3 slides. You notice there's different text here, different locations. This one has it over here on the left, kind of center. This one has it over on the left too, but the text is a different color. Let's take a look at how we did that, or at least go over the basics of using the slides element. I'll click Add Item. Now we have slide heading, which under Content, I'm going to scroll forward and find our new slide right here. We have our default color background right here. Slide heading. If I click on Content, there's the heading right there. I'll change that to maybe example heading. Down here I would probably get rid of most of this text because, to be truthful, whoever reads that much text on a slider? You could have maybe a little bit more if you wanted to. Instead of click here, we could have perhaps learn more instead of click here. Now you notice the position of this text. Well, let's actually click on background first of all. Here's the default background color. Let's make it a little darker color. Let's choose this dark blue for one thing. And then we can click inside the image for the background and choose an image for our background. We'll choose this image right here. Click Insert Media. Of course, we could put a SEO title and alt text if we wanted to. Here's our new image background. We have our default color in case the image doesn't load. But of course, the text doesn't look very good with this light image, so what we're going to need to do is put a background overlay here. If you scroll down, we have background selected right here, you notice. Ken Burns effect, if I turn that on, I'm not sure exactly what that is. I'll have to experiment with that. I think it zooms in and out. Oh, I see what it does. It does that kind of scrolling effect, zoom in, zoom out. That's kind of a cool effect. Ken Burns effect. Guess I learned something new every day. Okay, so for the background overlay, I'm going to turn that on. And there by default it has your background overlay. I'm sure you can adjust the color of the background overlay if you want. Looks pretty good the way it is though. I'm going to leave it as is. And now for the content, we've already played around with that. The button text, we changed that, but of course we'd want that button to link somewhere. So there it is. There's the link you can put for your button for people to click on. And for style, if I click on style, you notice down here we have, of course we just clicked on the style down below. If we turn on the custom style, we also have a style option up here, which is the default style option. If I turn on custom style down here, it's going to override any of the options that you edit down here in the custom styles. First I'm going to save this slide so I don't lose it. So up here in style, here's the default style, the content width and padding and horizontal position, which is talking about the heading position, horizontal, vertical position, and I think I'm going to leave it as is there. That's the default style. Now if I go back to slides, content, click on here, click on style. If I turn on custom style, it's going to override that default style. So I could do this, and do that, do this. I don't think I like that, though. I think I like it right about, depending on what your slide looks like, I think I like it about the way it was anyway, but you can text align it to the right. There we go, like this. You can change the content tile. But anyway, the basic thing I want to get across is if you choose style, the style tab under an individual slide, it's going to override your default styles for this horizontal and vertical position and text align and content color on a slide-by-slide basis. So for instance, this slide right here, let's see, no, I think it's this slide right here. If I scroll to it, you notice the text it comes up from the bottom and it has a different color of the text right here. See the background, actually under style, there we go, content color, I chose a different color besides white, and the horizontal and vertical position is the same. So you'll have to play around with the slides element. It's really pretty simple to use. Let's go back to our new slide. Anything else I could show you? Background we've already checked out. Put a text overlay, a background overlay I should say, to get our text to show up better, I should say. Style we talked about. So anyway, the slides element for Elementor Pro is a very nice one. Of course, the size of this slider image showing is limited by the size of the container it's in right now. It's in a column with a limited width. If you put a single column structure of a full width section, of course you could have full width structure, full width size of your images, a slider image spanning the width of your page if you wanted to, and the height of your image is controlled by this right here. It's not going to look too good doing this on this small slide, but just showing you what it does. Alright, we'll go back to the 300. Alright, so our other Pro elements we're using down here, here's the Forms element. I'll click on this. We'll go over this real quick. Of course, we have our content style and advanced form field submit button, which is that blue send action after submit. If you click inside here, you can have it send an email, go to email to, have it set up with your MailChimp account, redirect, or a webhook. And you're going to have to actually go to elementor.com and find some more documentation about using webhooks and redirects. I'm not going to get into that. If we click on email, send it to this email. You can send it to multiple emails by separating it with a comma. This, of course, is going to send you the information. Somebody fills out your form, it's going to send it to this email right here. So you'll get the name and email and message and the phone number of somebody that filled out your form on your site. And here's what your email is going to say, the subject of your email. And what else can I show you? Submit button, of course, we could change our text to something besides send. Change the size to medium, there we go. So there's a lot of different options. We could align it like this to justify the alignment. So there's a lot of cool options with the form field, Elementor Pro form field. I congratulate these guys. You know, a WordPress form is not an easy thing to configure, and there's so many variables that have to go into play. So they've done a good job. I'm sure they're going to keep improving on it. Let's see, what else can we do? We'll click in here. This is the edit post element, and actually I think this might be just a free element that I use. right here. Well, actually, it's a post element right here. Yep, it's a post element of Pro Element. So this is a Pro Element too. If we click inside here, if you have a blog, see post per page, columns 3. We can make it multiple columns if we wanted to, like this. There we go. I could have 4 blog posts showing up with their featured images like that. Different effects, masonry, you could turn masonry on like that, turn it off. Anyway, there's a lot of cool things in Elementor Pro, and if you're interested, you can check out more using that link I have on my page, or just go to elementor.com. Very cool plugin. I'm sure they're going to keep improving on it. So that is going to do it for this video. And as it says right here, anyone can create a website, and I believe that truly. It's not rocket science, but it does take a little bit of doing, and there's always something new to learn if you really want to get into it. You just relax and have fun with it. Make some web pages, you can mess up on them all you want, and then you can just delete them, start over, and just learn from your mistakes, and just learn what you want to and go as far as you want to. But Rome wasn't built in a day, so just have fun with it. And as always, keep on smiling and keep on keeping on.